Warm welcome to it, and thanks for choosing us this Tuesday morning. It's such an honor and a privilege for us to welcome Beulah from Westhuizen into our studios this morning. Beulah, it's been a wonderful start to the year, and of course, school starting tomorrow. Thanks for coming and joining us this morning. Give us some great advice with regard to those families where the little one is going to big school for the first time, or maybe that's a family where it's high school for the first time.
Yes, thank you, Jonathan, first and foremost for the invites. I always enjoy being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, as I was thinking about this morning, I thought, big school equals big emotions. And I think a lot of people will give you a lot of advice around the child, but I actually want to stop there and actually take one step back and say how you are doing as a parent. Because actually the focus should start there. We are so focused on the child and their first day, but we are the ones actually as parents that they get their cues from in terms of the emotional components. So for a moment, if you're driving in your car right now, taking your child to school, just check in with yourself, just for a brief moment, and gauge where you are at with regards to what is happening. And when I spoke to you, Jonathan, when I came in, you shared with me that your boy is going to high school, and you said...
Actually, my girl, yeah,
your
my
girl
daughter,
is going, your oldest. You said your oldest is going to high school, and you mentioned all the, the things, and then your words, you said it's interesting.
Yeah.
And from that, I've gauged that you are sitting with an emotion there that you are pondering, how's this going actually? And I think it's so important for us as parents to know where we stand as parents so that we can ultimately guide our children in terms of what they are experiencing emotionally. Because they read us and they feed off our emotions. So if we are excited about their journey, then most probably they will also start to get excited if they were slightly concerned. So actually this conversation is not only about today, it's also about the preparation that, happened prior to today. So what was, what conversations did you have with your child? Is it excitement or is it trepidation? Oh boy, you're going to high school, or you're going to the big school and you shouldn't grow up so fast, and all of those things. And I can see in your facial expression. So that's a big thing, to tell children, or to if your words are don't grow up so fast. If we think about it carefully, growing up is the one thing that children should do.
That's it.
It's the one thing. It's their job is to grow up. Okay, so for us as parents, it needs to be an exciting journey to watch them grow up and to support them. So if you're in your car right now as a parent taking your child to the school, just check in with yourself in terms of where you are before you start to check in with your child in terms of where they are, because that will give you a stable ground to actually face whatever might come up. If you are truthful around your own emotions, then it's so much easier for them to be truthful about their emotions. So if you have a little bit of butterflies in your tummy, then say, geez, as we're driving, I'm feeling a little bit, how are you feeling? And it just gives them that open door to actually say, actually, I'm also feeling slightly, jittery, butterflies. Yeah. And then the other thing that we all must remember, it's possible to have two opposing emotions at the same time. It is possible to be anxious and to be a little bit frightened, but at the same time, we can also be excited. And those two emotions are actually very closely linked with one another, and sometimes we can misinterpret the one for the other. So this is also a wonderful opportunity for you as a parent to expand your child's emotional vocabulary, because it's such a potent moment. Everything has a whole previous year has led up to this moment. If you were in grade 0, then you've been preparing for this for a whole year. Or if you are going to high school, then
The whole primary school.
You know, it's like this whole build up to
Yeah.
this moment in time. So it's a potent moment. So again, it's so important for parents to be present with themselves so that this moment does not roll into something that taints this first day or the first week or the first experience into something that we don't want. So
that's very good.
long answer.
No, but it's a good answer, because identifying
Yes.
those emotions, identifying what am I actually feeling. And I love the fact that you said it's okay to be slightly
Yes.
nervous and excited at the same time,
Yeah.
but fearful, trepidation, but
Yes.
also like, oh, this is something
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Then when it comes to the year, what are some of those things that parents can do, that families can do? Because this is going to be a big year for everybody listening, whether you have kids going to school or not, but especially for those with kids at school. You know, you don't, for many parents, I know, they don't know what to expect for the big school years or the high school years or those things.
Yeah. I love your question because it speaks to something bigger that I think we often do not think about. And I love us having this conversation in January and in the beginning of January. A lot of people make New Year's resolutions, okay, and they think about what they want and they think about the diet and the gym, which lasts only 3 days and all of those things. But I'm wondering, do you as a parent ever sit and make a resolution about your parenting for the year to come? Or for you as a family, what's this grounding foundation that you're going to work from, you know? Because that ultimately drives our behavior. It boils down to principle-based decisions. What's the principle of your family? What are the guiding foundations?
Yeah.
And we don't really think about it. So I actually want to challenge parents to think about a parenting plan for 2023. What's your parenting plan? I like, as a parent, and I'll just share a little bit about my own, is I really, really look for opportunities to set my child up for success.
Wow. That's good.
And sometimes it's something small that I identify and say, well, she does not have that specific skill yet. So what am I as a parent going to do to almost facilitate the opportunity for her to learn that skill?
Yeah.
So think about a parenting plan. You know, we only think about parenting plans when we are in the divorce courts, unfortunately, because then it's a legal requirement to have a parenting plan. But actually, we as parents should have a
parenting plan.
What's your plan for your child, you know? Yeah. And so that's just a challenge for all parents, irrespective of where their children are in their journey. But think about from the basis of which you are going to parent, because that will guide your decisions. It will guide your communication. It will guide your language. It will guide your actions. So that is why I also started today with the parent.
That's so important.
If we really want to do our children, if we really want to serve our children, because that's ultimately what we do as parents, we need to know who we are in order to be able to serve. So it's things like speaking life, you know, speaking positivity, speaking truth. So again, in preparation for today, what came up extremely strongly for me is the preparation, or not the preparation, but you know, if you go and you do your job, you prepare, you get the tools. The optimal tool that we can actually give our children is to teach them about the whole armor of God.
Yeah, that is very good.
And if that can become I don't want to say a ritual, but how powerful would it be that if you, especially with a young child who's still very visually orientated, and whilst they are dressing and getting ready for school, and as they are putting on their school clothes, they put on the belt of truth and the shield, the breastplate, and the helmet of salvation, and then you first of all you just take them through that motions, because you are assisting them to protect themselves.
Yeah.
And later on you can start to have conversations accordingly to their age. So what does this helmet of salvation actually means? It means guide your thoughts or your mind, or what are you, positive thoughts, negative thoughts, what are you thinking about, or guard your heart,
That's
you
it.
know. So it becomes a very, very practical tool, but it also sets your child up for success. And it brings me to that, are you as a parent, with your parenting plan, setting up your child for success?
Beulah, that's where we're going to have to leave it for now, but that's already given us a lot to think about in a very positive way.
Fantastic.
Really appreciate it. Beulah van der Westhuizen is an educational psychologist, a mom, an incredible lady, and we really appreciate you just sharing with us this morning. Thank you.
Such a pleasure. Have a wonderful year.